Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be doing another speculation comic book picks of mine, specifically very slim pickings at this point. It's only going to be one comic book, but I do believe it's going to be an important one, so if you want to know what that is, come on back and join me after the short video intro. Welcome once again, guys, to another one of my video. Comic Sniper here. Happy to have you guys joining me today for what I feel is a very special comic book prediction and speculation video. All right. So as I stated earlier, I am only sharing with you one book, but in my opinion, it is going to be a very important book. And with that, how I want to do this is I'm going to share with you that book, and of course from there we can talk about it and give you some of the reasons why I'm sharing with you this book. Okay, but as always, as a disclaimer, I just want to make sure that this is my thoughts and my ideas only that I want to share with you guys. This is not a call for you guys to go rushing out and spend your money on the book that I show you. What you do with the information that I give you is strictly up to you, and you should make up your own mind before putting down your hard-earned dollars. Just as this is everything else in the world, of course, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. What I would suggest is, just don't take one person's word for it. Do some research, talk to other people, and then make up your own mind before you decide. Okay, so that's with that out of the way. Of course, we're gonna get right into it. So the book that I want to share with you, and that I believe will be an important book going into the future, that will also gain in value, okay, if things go the way I foresee it, is,
drum roll please,
this A-Force #1.
Are you serious?
Now let that sink in for a bit. Before you decide that I've gone off my rockers and the cheese has slid off my crackers, let me try to explain my reasoning for bringing this book up, okay, before you decide that I'm too crazy and now you're shutting it down. Okay, so basically, in the Marvel Universe, the way moving forward, if you haven't already been paying attention to what's happening in the world, if you've been living under a rock or in a cave for the last couple of years, there is a growing movement in political circles, as well as the movies and in the comic book industry as we see it. It is the politicizing of the world around us, and we are not immune to it. Especially the comic book industry, we've seen it with characters being turned into women, having minorities, that kind of stuff. However, whatever side of the fence you fall on, that's not the discussion I want to have here, and that is strictly for another topic. Okay, that is just the reality as I see it. Okay, and if you look at the MCU, the movies that are showing up, Star Wars, that kind of stuff, and how people are talking about things, you would know that this is happening today. I'm not here to debate the issue, and I'm not here to try to prove to you whether anybody is right or wrong, and therefore I could take advantage of it regardless of which side of the fence you fall on and whether you agree with it or not. I believe that the MCU is definitely moving forward with a feminine agenda. Take a look at this this cover. It is all female, okay? And that is the way Disney and the MCU and Marvel want to move forward. You can try to fight that all you want. Again, that is strictly up to you. And I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong. But for myself, whether I like it or not, if there is a way for me to hedge and get in front of it so that I can profit from it, I am going to do so. And that's what I'm doing here. So therefore, I believe that the MCU and Disney will be making more female leads going into the future. And as you can see here with this cover, you can see a lot of the most popular ones, of course, with She-Hulk on the front, and and all the different characters, especially things like Dazzler here, of course Captain Marvel that just had her movie, and some of the other ones that are going to be mutants, of course Jean Grey, that is going to be coming into the fold since Disney's buying Fox pretty soon, really soon actually. This is inevitable in my view, okay? And it isn't going to be long until they have an all-female Avengers basically movie, and try and move that forward. What better way to make that happen, and the name that it should take as this A-Force. You can kind of see the writing on the wall if you follow my train of thought here, right? If this is the case, then this book will definitely be going up in value, okay? Now, this book is at this point nowhere, okay? Nobody is paying attention to this book, and it is literally a dollar bin book, okay? You can pick this book up for literally a cover price or less at this point. Now, what makes, okay, with that being said, okay, it's not the fact that this book has anything specific in it. It's just the fact that this book, this is their first appearance, and that's why I'm betting that this book in the future will be going up in value. Okay, there's my prediction. Now let me give you some of the reasons, you know, why making predictions for the future sometimes is good and bad things. Okay, so a lot of people speculate on things. Okay, people speculate on characters, who's going to show up where in the MCU, whether it be a show or a movie. Things like, you know, popular heroes, baddies, storylines to follow, those kind of things. Okay, so adding my 2 cents to the mix, this book will have is going to be key moving forward, because of it'll be the next phase of the MCU. Okay, now when you do a prediction, the thing to remember is you want to be buying comic books basically when they are not popular at the time. Okay, that's how you can take advantage of the trend that's going to be moving forward. But that's a very tricky thing, because what people sometimes will do is they'll wait for some sort of news. Let's say, for instance, Morbius is I believe is just filming now, or just starting to film. When the news hit, people will then go out and buy that book. Usually by the time the news hits, unless you are super quick about it, unless you are like at the pulse of things that are happening, it is very hard to be right at the sharp end of it and to take advantage of any deals that might have before it drives the price up. And then from there, usually if you're on the tail end of it, then you're going to be paying a premium for these books, and if something happens, you're really on the losing side. Okay, the better way to do things, in my opinion, is to try to make some predictions ahead of time to what's happening in the industry as well as the world around us. Now, I've taken out my crystal ball basically, and I've looked into it, and this is my prediction for the future. The way you do it is you buy low and sell high. This is not a secret. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, this is the tried and true way to invest in the stock market. Okay, that's where it came from. The free market is you buy low and you sell high. That's a very hard thing to do, though, unless you are paying attention and unless you have some idea of what's going on in the world and in the comic book industry that I'm talking about right now. Okay, it's all about risk and reward at this point. So what do you want to risk, and what's the chance for the reward? It's so we can go out and talk about, let's say, buying let's say a Hulk 181. Okay, now since that book is already very popular, it continues to go up in value, you will be buying into it at a very high price because you're paying for almost like a sure thing. Okay, there's no absolute sure thing in the world, but the popularity of Wolverine will keep that book moving forward in time as we go along. But since you've kind of missed the boat, early on, and you want to get into it now, well, you're going to be paying a high price if you want to get into that book now. And then therefore, if something happens, let's say in the future, and it goes down, you're risking a lot for the reward that you're getting. And which the better way to do it is to find low cost value books such as this, and then when they go up in value, you are along for the ride, and you can take advantage of that and then make money that way. Okay, you're going to be in a catbird seat at this point. So that's the idea. Now, it's going to be very hard for all of us to do this on a regular basis unless you have some insight, and you need to actually take some chances at this point. But I believe that when I see something such as this, okay, I take advantage of it because it is very, like as I said in the beginning, it is very low cost at this point. Okay, nobody's paying attention to this book. I haven't heard anything as far as anybody out there. I picked this copy up in my local comic book store, just sitting in the dollar bin, really. Okay, super high grade. I'm probably going to get this graded at some point, and I should expect this book to come back at least a 9.6, if not a 9.8. Okay, so nobody's paying attention to this book, and that is the perfect time, the absolute optimum time to, if you feel that you have a book that you feel will be important at some point in the future, that's the best time to take advantage of it. Okay, so because even if I buy 10 copies of this, what am I in for? If I buy it at cover price value, I believe it's $3.99 for this book, so $4. So I'm in it for $40 if I buy 10 copies. Okay, if this book never goes up in value, to me $40 is not a great deal of money. Like, I mean, of course I don't want to lose $40, but it isn't. I'm not going to be losing hundreds or thousands. Okay, so if I sit on that, so other people, they kind of use the shotgun strategy. Okay, they will basically fire everything and they'll buy everything up as the new issues come up, because they're going to be buying it at cover price only, and then stock it away. They'll buy multiple copies of a lot of different books, and then be hopeful that one, two, or a few of those books will go up in value. Now, that is one strategy. I'm not saying that's a wrong strategy, but that can get very costly because there's new comic books that come out every month from different from Marvel, DC, all the different publishers, that kind of stuff. And to try to do that strategy, even though you're only paying the cover price for each book, if you're having to buy a lot of books and a lot of copies of those books, that is a hefty investment indeed, especially over time. Okay, and let's face it, the majority of the time, most of those books that you buy will not go up in value. Okay, even though there might be a first appearance of somebody in there, or some sort of event that's happening, you can take advantage of that. But a lot of times, even those don't amount to anything. Now, my track record, I believe, has been pretty good. I've made quite a bit of money from my predictions in the past, and just like anything else, I've lost as well. Okay, so things like I predicted, I believe it was Kill the Mockingbird, Kill the Minotaur. That book isn't going to go anywhere, I don't believe. I bought a few copies of that, but that not going anywhere. Empire of the Dead, I thought there was rumors of that book, so I picked it up when it was cheaper. I don't think that's going to really do anything anymore. As well as Outcast #1, another book that I thought might have a chance, but that didn't happen. Okay, but again, I didn't sink a lot of money into them. I bought them at the time when when I thought about some of the things that might be happening and some of the rumors that could come around, and since they were cheap anyways, I picked them up. Okay, so whether they do anything or not, they're assigned to the part of the collection that isn't really doing anything. Okay, who knows? Maybe in the future, but at this point, I'm not. I'm probably thinking not at this point. Okay, but I have also, won and won big on some of my predictions in the past. Things like I took advantage of Preacher, like Preacher #1, and before the TV or the Netflix show, or sorry, not CW, or I can't remember where it is now, but it's before the series was out. Okay, and that book shot up in value, and I was able to take advantage of that. I bought a few copies of that, and I was able to flip that and make a good amount. One of my biggest ones as well was Ultimate Fallout #4, first appearance of Miles Morales. I bought that poly bag, okay, when I bought quite a few copies of that, the first edition or first print, and that I was able to capitalize on that quite a bit. Of course, since the movie came out as well, it drove the price up, and I was able to take advantage of that to a great win. And probably my biggest win today, or I have a lot of different ones, but the one that I have the most gained as far as my initial investment and what I actually ended up getting for them is Avenging Spider-Man #9. That is, of course, first appearance of Captain Marvel. I bought quite a few of those copies before there was even any hint of Captain Marvel and Carol Danvers being in any movie. Again, I took my crystal ball out and I looked into the future, and I decided, you know what, this will be something big. Hey, she was kind of a character that's been around for quite a while. She's been since the Silver Age, of course, right? As well as and she's had a few books that have some value, of course. Marvel Superheroes #13, her Carol Danvers' first appearance. I have some of those books and I picked those up, but I didn't buy a lot of them early on at let's say at a low price. Okay, when I picked up Avenging Spider-Man #9, I paid less than $10 for each one of them. Okay, and I bought half a dozen copies of them at a low price, and all at high grade. Okay, and I slabbed them, and most of them came back 9.8s, and I think I only ever got one that was a 9.6. So, and if you know the prices of that book, it is skyrocketed, I believe, somewhere upwards of around $700 for a 9.8 slab copy. So, and I took advantage of that. Okay, so that's one of the things that I was able to do. And what I do with that is I use that money to, of course, fund my collection. Okay, get the key books that I want to keep in my collection, and then also use the rest of the money, of course, to make other predictions and hopefully capitalize on other things that might be happening in the future. Okay, so that's my idea, and that's how I do things. And the way you can take advantage of things as well, as you make up your mind on how things are moving forward. Make some predictions for yourself. As long as you, I believe, as long as you're not, sinking your family's fortune into these things, then you should be okay. Okay, just understand that with risk, with reward, there's always the risk. Okay, you're gonna have to take the bad with the good, and the best way to do it is have no regrets. Right? There's always going to be more losses, in my opinion, than wins. But if you make the right call here and there and have big wins, they will more than outweigh the losses in the long run. Okay, that's my prediction. So anyways, guys, that's my idea, and that is what I wanted to share with you guys, and some of my thoughts on how how I came up with this, and you know, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. So, but if you're new to my channel, I just wanted to make sure. I just want to thank you guys for you know, visiting me and seeing and taking part in my video here. So you make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video, and of course, love to have your discussion in this matter, and tell me what you think. Tell me if you have the same idea, whether you thought this was a worthwhile video, whether you think that, you know, I might be off my rockers or not. You know, just keep it civil, is all I ask. But aside from that, yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me if it's a good prediction, it's bad prediction, whether you want to share one for yourself. Maybe I know some of you guys have given me your predictions in the past, and I have added that to some of my speculation videos, and I thank you very much for sharing that. But definitely give me your thoughts down below. And as always, Comic Sniper here, really appreciating you guys taking the time to watch my video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye for now.